Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I'm finally back home in Arlington, so I will be filming almost every single day of the week. I will hopefully have videos up 3 to 5 times a week. It feels so great to be back. I'm finally done with school for a couple of months. So one thing that I've really noticed a lot that's been going on in my life is my friends talking about all of their guy problems. I'm sure guys don't talk about their girl problems with their friends like girls do with guys, but what I've really noticed, especially with my friends, is that they really focus on the negative things of their past relationships and the negative things that have been done to them and that have put a burden on their life and on their heart. It's very common in women to compare horror stories when it comes to their exes. We talk about just the quality in them, their looks, how they treated us, what they did wrong, what they didn't do right, the breakup story after the breakup, just things like that, and just kind of focusing on the negative things about themselves and their personalities. It's almost like we compare who got hurt the most or who went through the worst breakup, who took the longest to heal with all the pain that they went through. We all know that we can't move on to a new relationship or to a new lover until we completely let go and give it all to God. But as long as you're comparing your past relationships, as long as you're remembering the negative and talking about everything that happened, you're not completely moving on. And I'm so guilty of this, and so I'm hoping that we can grow in this journey together. I'm really hoping that whenever we're thinking about our exes or we get into a conversation or situation where we have to talk about them, try to only think about the positive things. Of course, it's hard not to remember the positive things because all we think is about is the negative. When it comes to an ex, you just have this negative connotation built around them and tied to them. And it's very easy just to remember all the bad things and to bash them, but we have to remember that when we're bashing them, we're bashing our brothers and sisters in Christ. We're bashing people that we used to have a love for, the people we used to have a relationship with. And even though they may have done us wrong, or we may have done them wrong, we have to remember that we can only go up from here. You can only move on. You have to completely let go of your past. You got to quit living in the past. You have to quit thinking about what was done wrong to you, what could have been better. If you're somebody who constantly looks at their social media accounts, you have to stop looking at things like that because that's just going to put more of a burden on you, and that's going to put you one step back from finding your future husband or wife, because God's not going to give you that future husband or wife. He's going to protect their hearts from you until you can completely move on from thinking about them, talking about them, looking at their social media, any small things like that, small things we don't think really affect our relationship with God and our movement in our faith, but they really do, because those are the small things that keep us from moving forward. I'm not saying you need to erase the memories. You know, those memories are always going to be with you, the good and the bad ones, but just try to put forth the positive memories, because it really seems like the more you think about the negative things, the more negative things you remember and the less positive things you remember. So if you really want to move on through this stage of your life and you want to move on to something more positive, try and remember the positive things. Try to remember all the happy times you had together, and even if they may make you sad, there was a long period of time where I couldn't think about all the happy where I couldn't think of the happy times that I had with my ex, because it just made me sad that I didn't have that anymore. And I totally understand that some of you may feel this way, but just try to either not think about it. If you're put in a situation like this, just try to excuse yourself if you can for the time being. Try to switch the conversation. Or just apply something happy to it. That way you can get the conversation over with quicker, because a lot of times when we're talking about the negative things in life, we get on this big, really long spiral of just adding on to the negativity and adding on to the grief that we're holding. And the more you talk about the good things, you can lead to other good things that are going on in your life, and you can switch that conversation and turn it to something else. The first verse I have for y'all is 1 Peter 3:11. Let him turn away from evil and do good. Let him seek peace and pursue it. Now, what this means to seek peace and pursue it, we have to seek peace with God and accept what has happened in the past. We have to accept that what's done is done. Nothing's going to change. There's no point in staying in the past, and we have to pray to God and ask for guidance and the strength to move forward. The thing is you have to actively seek it and pursue it. It's one thing to just want something, as we all know. It's one thing to want to be on a sports team, but to actually work for it and train and put 110% into it to get onto that sports team, those are two different things. A want and a seeking and pursuing are two different things. You really need to figure out what you're wanting to pursue. You need to make sure it's what you actually want, what you actually think will help you in the long run, and then pursue it. Pray to God, ask for the peace, ask for the strength to pursue what you're wanting to fix in your life. First, you have to seek peace with God and understanding why he's changed your life, why he's taken people out, why he took that relationship away from you, why he changed that part of your life that was a part of you for so long. The second thing is seeking peace with that person. Finding it in your heart to forgive them, to continue to pray for them, for that brother or sister in Christ, that you can continue to pray for them and ask God to fix their heart as well, because normally in relationships and breakups, there's not only one broken heart. Ask that their heart can be mended. Ask that they continue to grow in their faith with Him and that they can just have a blessed life. I know it's very hard, especially if you had a bad breakup, to want the best for your ex, but wanting the best for somebody is going to end up being better for you, because you're going to learn to open up your heart to those who have hurt you, and accepting what has happened to you, that can help you in the long run. And the last one is seek peace with yourself and accepting what has happened, but finding the good and the bad out of that situation.